spänd. Havet var kallt. Han hade sin värld som jag hade min. Så han måste ge sig av hem för en tid. Allt han levt för fanns där. I hans undervattensvärld. Kapten Nemo sa okej.
All right, so this saga, it's sort of a fairy tale, to be honest. It involves me, a single human in a big company proclaiming to save the world. I literally kid you not. I go into that office and they say to everybody and to me, please repeat after everybody, we are saving the world. I was like, I cannot proclaim such a thing. So, what I did was that I chose to contact a couple of journalists in relation to this, sectarian statement, we are saving the world. And I said, no, I choose to talk to a journalist. After that, it seems like, the city where Volvo, is located, meaning actually, Gothenburg, seems to be holding some type of a connectivity, ladies and gentlemen, is what I speak of. They seem to be connected, all of them together, like private ventures, government entities, such as those who uphold the law, but also those who have a certain responsibility, meaning when the law creates a demand, where you create a union, fackförening, even them. This story is just one single human going to a couple of journalists and saying, I'm gonna blow the whistle on what's going on over here. After that, something happened. Follow along, ladies and gentlemen. SwedishComedy.com. Gonna fucking create another saga for you.
But in any case, these people that are doing this are at Volvo, all right? So the people at Volvo panicked in relation to my actions. They panicked to the point where I was fired, and I was fired illegally. I was fired illegally where literally the employer broke a couple of laws. I'm also a member of the union. Now, the union itself has a certain responsibility in relation to law and order. All right? I have them on video breaking a couple of laws. So we have an employer breaking a couple of laws. We have that which is a union, which in Sweden is not just a union. In Sweden is based upon socialism. And socialism to the point where the union itself is more than just a union. It's part of working. Like, if you work in Sweden, the union is automatically part of your culture. So you see, the union over here in Sweden, in the working culture, it is the working culture. There is nothing that is not unionized. There is nothing that is not part of, the structure of the union. And the structure of the union has a certain responsibility in relation to the law and order. All right. So in relation to law and order, they broke everything. And they were, put on camera. So I recorded everything. Put it on the web, became very popular. No journalists responded to this, all right? My employer broke the law. The union broke the law. One of the biggest employer in Sweden, the biggest union in Sweden, literally broke a bunch of laws. Now, all of this law-breaking business is connected to that which is artificial intelligence, not...
All right. So what I'm describing here is obviously, the hierarchy of Sweden, in one single city. I cannot speak for all cities, I can speak for this single city, and I can also speak for those who call themselves Swedes within the city, meaning the multicultural elite. They formulate that which is the hierarchy. They represent, law and order. They represent that which is, the city itself. the private ventures within the city, all those aspects, all those, when I say, data points that connect everything to formulate itself into a single order. Order and chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin with order first, and then let's proceed into that which is chaos.
And then there's hierarchy. This hierarchy, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that is? That literally destroyed this country. So you see, I have this not only this story. So you see, there is a story here that has never been told throughout history. The greatest story that ever was or is. I kid you not. My story throughout human history in relation to where we are. Now, I'm not comparing myself to empires and things like that. You have to realize what I'm saying here. Look at where we're living. Look at the computers. Look at what the world has become. Look at what humans have become. We're supposed to be smart. We're supposed to have evolved. Especially in Sweden. You see, in Sweden they say we are the most evolved species upon Earth. Now they walk around and roam around in Sweden, proclaim a lot of other things. Complete bullshit. There's not a single word which they can proclaim in front of me where they are able to disconnect themselves from that which is their previous. I don't buy it. I don't buy into it. It's complete bullshit. You cannot reject that which is you, because you are what you are. So when you talk, I reject your words, because your words have no relevance. Your actions have relevance. Your physical presence has relevance. You see, once you start to actually determine people by what they do, not much what they say. You see, words today, especially here in Sweden, have no meaning. They lack relevance. They lack, reality. You see, we live in Sweden so far from that which is just what we were yesterday. I'm talking 1 year ago, 2 years, 3 years. I'm not talking 40, 50 years here. Like, what was Sweden 1 year ago? It was literally 180 in relation to, where were we from that which is relativity. So you see, it's upside down in 1 year. Okay. You see, it's upside down in 1 year. Now, understand what I'm telling you. In 1 year, this country could be once again on the other side. That which is the correct side. But they have brought that which is wrong. You see, they keep wobbling. They keep making these 180s in relation to, what they are. What is the Swedish entity? What is the, responsibility? What is something over here? You understand, ladies and gentlemen? What is Sweden? What has become of Sweden? Do you understand? I mean, it's so big that it literally can be determined and classified as the greatest story that ever was or is. I'm one single human. I have ensured that the complete structure of Sweden is entangled in a conspiracy. All indications point to that this country and the way they, portray themselves, hold themselves, how they, perform themselves. Literally everything pinpoints that which is a complete self-destruction. I kid you not, I see it as clear as day. I am not ashamed to say it. I will never be quiet about saying so. These people will kill themselves, and there is not a single doubt in my mind that they will do it in front of everybody and tell that they are smart while doing so. They will find a reason to tell the whole world while they are dying, look the world, this is the right thing. I am dying. Details will be specified in court. So you see, all of Sweden are participating in this conspiracy. It's a beautiful thing once you realize it, you see. Because, you see, it's their country. I am one single man. I am playing with the identity of a country. And I'm playing with it to the point where everybody who is something, because you see, Sweden loves to be something in relation to something else. You see, Sweden is nothing. So Sweden adds America, Sweden adds Norway, Sweden adds Finland, Sweden adds Denmark, Sweden adds Iceland, Sweden adds Russia, Sweden adds Germany, and then Sweden creates its own its own identity. I am now relevant, right? Okay, you're now relevant. Do you understand? If Sweden is left alone, it has no relevance. So it has to be connected nowadays. Without a connection, without a big brother, without something who holds on to him, carries him, Sweden is lost. They have literally become, not stupefied. This has nothing to be stupid. This has to do with removal of everything that is, what a man ought to be. What will happen in Sweden in 1 year? What will happen in Sweden in 1 year? Chaos, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm speaking of. These people are chaotic. It's chaos in Sweden. Now, what happens in chaos? Nothing can be determined. How big is the hierarchy? Nothing has relevance. Chaos destroys everything because chaos does not care about your name, title, doesn't care about your position, hierarchy, money. Chaos is chaos. You understand that? Chaos is chaos and it destroys everything. Chaos is in Sweden today. There's not a single man left in Sweden who holds that which is do you have something left? Chaos resides in that which is Sweden. They despise everything about chaos. They don't understand what order and chaos is. They don't even know what to say in regards to this conversation about chaos. They will only say one thing. I don't like the thing you talk about. I wish to keep you quiet. I don't want to talk and debate with you. I don't want to discuss these things you're speaking of. Because it doesn't matter where I go, I lose. So I would rather just be blind. I would rather just do like this. You see, I do like this because, it gives me a lot of, when I say, oh, goddamn, I just fucking hit my fucking knee on this fucking table, man. I'll be right back. I need to go for a cigarette. Any case, the Swedes, they despise chaos, man. And they live in the most chaotic country in the world. Even African countries cannot compare themselves to what Sweden is. I kid you not. This is the greatest story that ever was or is. There is one specific country in Europe called Sweden that is more chaotic than each and every single nation that can be declared as corrupt in Africa. This story is my story, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to that which is Swedish. I have what the fuck idea what this is. What is this? What's going on? I love to be alive. I realized something. You know what I realized? It's 100 years since Hitler realized that he was fucked by those people who signed something. And Hitler rose from that. There is something going on out there in the world. Hitlers are being born. Each and every single day right now. It's chaos out there, I kid you not. Right now there's a couple of Hitlers being bred by that which is the Swedish, Swedish naivete. Like, you see, Sweden can walk next to Hitler and not realize it's Hitler. You see, and afterwards they always talk about, well, we should have killed Hitler in Munich. You walked beside Hitler and you didn't fucking realize it. Who the fuck are you to speak about who to shoot and what not to shoot? Chaos, ladies and gentlemen, chaos. And I kid you not, right now they are giving birth to Hitlers. They don't even fucking know it. You see, they speak of Munich, they speak of history, they speak of what, when, where. They speak of, morals, they speak of intellectual, they speak of that which is conversation, debate, forum. They are literally giving birth to Hitlers today in Sweden. Now, the problem is that this is not 100 years ago. We live in a completely different country. So you see, it's a beautiful thing. Once you realize that you're giving birth to something that is going to be even at some point encouraged. Because you see, at this point, when we see new Hitlers, we see that which is the failure of Sweden. the failure of Germany, the failure of the Aryan race, what the fuck ever you want to call yourselves. You see, you failed. And nowadays you have failed to the point where you lack everything that is a revolution. Back to that which is normality. It cannot be. The potential of that which is the Nazi cannot sustain. But the Hitlers will be produced in masses. Great time to be alive. Great time to be alive. I kid you not. I long to see these individuals come forth, declare themselves. I want to see people react upon them. It's a great time to be alive. It's chaos out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sweden. SwedishComedy.com. I kid you motherfucking not. These people are the greatest fucking joke there ever was or is. I kid you not. There's a saying in Sweden, kaosblatte. You know what kaosblatte means? It's like the foreigners in Sweden are so chaotic, disruptive. They destroy so much. So it's called like, you know, kaosblatte. Blatte is like nigger. Not like nigger, but like the N-word for, you know, foreigners, generally foreigners. So I'm also like blatte. Blatte is also me. So it's the nigger of, you know, of Sweden. Chaos blatte, chaos nigger. You understand? They call us chaos niggers. Now, if I go out here, I will not be able to see the Swedes. It's dark out there. He's Aryan and his skin color is dark in that which is the night of today. So first and foremost, he's literally, by that which is the definition of skin, he's more dark than I am. They are niggers in that which is the scientific, you know, grading scale, you know, spectrum, colors. So we can take the Swede and put him to a, like a, you know, different color schemes, and we can compare what color does he have, and we can see, wait, you're closer to that which is the color of my, you know, this wall than you are on my own skin. That's you, Sweden. And then you live in that which is, you know, chaos. You see, your country is in chaos. This literally makes you a chaos nigger. And I said it, you know, that once you realize what has happened to this country in one single year, you realize something. There are African countries that are more stabilized than your country is. And that is a big thing to say. It ought not to be said. It ought not to be thought out. How am I able to not only think it, say it, and ensure that it actually holds true?
Alright, that went too far. You know, colors, schemes, black, white, dualism, you know, good, bad. Alright, let's just say it like this. Black lives matter. Svarta liv har också relevans i Sverige. Alright?
So you see, this thing that's going on in Sweden is so fucking beautiful. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it, you know. You don't want to touch it. Do you understand? You understand what I mean? Is that at some point, you see, you don't want to give, you know, I love to be alive, but I also want to observe everything. So you see, I don't want to touch anything out there. I want it to be sustained. I love to observe. And once you realize there's something going on so beautifully to the point where they're creating history as we go, you don't want to touch it. No, leave them alone. No, don't come here. Don't look at me. Be yourselves. I love you. You're chaos. You're chaos. Please be. Proceed. Please. For the love of God, please be yourselves. You understand? It's a beautiful thing to observe these people, you know. So, you know, these people over here, they're completely motherfucking.
Now, if we go back to the original standpoint, I go to my office, they say to me, you're a hero, and you're going to save the world. I say to them, I am simply a Kurdish man upon this planet, a single human, that's all there is to it. They say, no, you must become indoctrinated. I say, I need to speak to a journalist. At that point, now we live in that which is, you know, a freak show. At some point, you know, the last year, I called this a shit show. Then, you know, acceleration happened. And the thing is that once it became a freak show, I decided to contact those who call themselves, journalists. Journalists also, much like the union, has a certain responsibility in a society of a civilized state. Now, if you have a certain order within your society, journalism, union, that which are private ventures, much like AB Volvo is, they must be within law and order. That is why we call it order within that which is hierarchy. Law and order. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to that which is Swedish chaos, Swedish comedy. Enjoy this fucking freak show. It's a great saga.
Sent the same information over to Swedish media anonymously. No response. Now this information is quite important. It describes something that is of high importance. At least a response saying thank you but no thank you, you're crazy, you're a lunatic, or let's meet, or what do you mean exactly, give me more details. Do you understand? So no response whatsoever. Went back to work, kept working, kept normal, everything was normal. But those people who hold on to this, this program, they are at Volvo. So you see, they know that I write to journalists. They panicked. They panicked very, very fast, very hard, because it's Sweden. They have no idea what's going on, how to do anything. They panic very, very fast. When they panic, chaos. So we're living in chaos right now in Sweden, and it's a beautiful thing to observe. Like, it's a test of society at some point, you see. If a grand conspiracy pops up, it's testing your society. A lot of illegalities have been performed, documented, actualized. They are out there. I have experienced them. I have documented them. They are evidence in court. The union, once again, has such a deep, has such a deep meaning in relation to how to be a worker in Sweden. That is literally a baseline. Like when you go to work, the union follows with you. Do you understand? It's automatically, it's integrated, it's part of you. There is no discussion about the union. There is only that which is, which union do you belong to? That is the only thing. There is nothing more, nothing less. Do you understand? The union themselves became recorded and just literally, look man, I'm saying one thing, I'm saying this loud and clear. These people hold no intellectual value to literally rule a country. Like that which is a hierarchy, when you realize that which is, let's say 85% to 95%, or let's say 85 to 90%, let's keep the 10% over there. If they all are in accordance with a certain pattern, a certain behavior of failure. I'm not saying they all act the same. I'm just saying you always fail. It doesn't matter what you do, what you say. I've always, you fail. I have a video of the union, literally, who have a responsibility. You see, the union in Sweden is not just a union. They are regulated. They were created by that which is what the need of the law. So you see, they wrote something inside the law book. Then they created the unions. You see, the unions in Sweden are directly a construction by that which is a need in the law. To go against everything there is a rule within the union, you break everything there is a law in Sweden. I have everything, once again, documented. So you understand? It's like, it's a golden goose type of a thing.
A goose? The one that lays them golden eggs.
It's a beautiful thing, I kid you not. To be able to say and do so little and create so much because people hold so little relevance to the point where they literally construct their country based upon another country who do not even recognize them, on a map. You see, at that point, what is what in this world? What is what in this world? Do you understand, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on in this world? Have I,
All right, there you have it. Just the beginning, part one of many parts in this saga. And this saga is completely different from other sagas that will will be presented and, documented on this YouTube channel. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. Believe me. It's a freak show. And it's funny.